So there was an interesting Delaware case that recently came out dealing with the topic of a reasonable best efforts clause that I wanted to share with you because I think it can have ramifications for both the buyer and a seller in an M&A transaction. The case is Desktop Metal versus Nano Dimension. And in this case, the parties had a clause that required the buyer to use their reasonable best efforts to close the transaction as soon as possible. And I think after they signed up the transaction, the buyer got cold feet, wasn't sure they wanted to do the deal. And there was a complicated regulatory approval process in order to get the deal done through CFIUS, the Committee on Foreign Investments in the United States. And apparently the buyer kind of dragged their feet through that process, really tried to buy themselves some more time. And the seller got frustrated with this and brought a lawsuit claiming that by dragging their feet, they were violating their covenant to use their reasonable best efforts to close the transaction as soon as possible. And the Delaware courts agreed with the seller and ordered the buyer to close the deal on a very short, in a very short time period. So, the big takeaways from that are that the Delaware courts, at least, will give real meaning to those reasonable best efforts clauses. And if you have a provision in there, both a buyer and a seller need to pay attention to, how people are living up to their obligations.